It is time for a new belt. You'll take off this little clip, this gear, pull out the steering shaft, and then I'm going to Tractor Supply to find the right size belt. Replacing that worn out tire with this worn out tire. I just robbed some parts off the Craftsman, the one that looks like the old man on SpongeBob. Anyway, I'm not planning on using it. I need some parts. This is scrap metal. This is mower deck parts, clutch parts. There were 2 idler pulleys, and I just so happen to be working on the Murray. It needs an idler pulley, and it needs a bracket that's 10.5 inches long. I'm thinking this one right here. Cut off 10.5. There's already a hole here, drill a hole there, and I'm going to be putting an idler pulley right about there. Let me show you under the Murray, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I am right here on the Murray. I've got a new belt. It's a little bit longer. The way the belt was running, it was on this side of the shifter, and the clutch did not work. It was too tight. So I'm putting in this new bracket. I've got an idler pulley off the parts mower. It's going to go in here and hold the belt. I've got to hold it off this shifter just a little bit. I was going to use this hole already in the bracket, but it pulls it off a little bit too much, and then the clutch might not work. So I'm going to flip this bracket over. And there's a hole I can use there. I got to drill a hole here, and I'll drill a hole wherever the idler needs to go. And then we can put the clutch back together and go for a ride. It is test drive time. I'm right here with my original Murray. I just got the front ATV tires. Now it's time to move to the back. On the back, the guy before me, he had made homemade hubs. These are motor wheels. He cut the center out, drilled 4 holes. I like that. When I go to put bigger tires on the back of the Poland, I think I'm going to go online and buy some that were hubs, made to be hubs. Anyway, over here, this is the 25 that I'm going to. This is the 22 that's coming off. Yes, it is well used. If we look at the 22 that's on there now, there's about, I don't know, 1.5 inch clearance. When it's time to put those 25s on with tread, I'm pretty sure we're going to do a lot of cutting into the fender. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Anyway, up next, put this tire on that wheel. And if you want to compare what's going on the Poland, that's a 26, that's a 25. The 25 looks taller to me. Maybe by the time we get that one on and air it up. I got one wheel cleaned up and spray painted gloss black. I also came from the hardware store with a handful of hardware. These are standard bolts. The metric ones, 2 of them broke off on me. We might use these on the other side just in case 2 break on the other side. We'll have one side metric, one side standard. And I've got the tires slicked up with the tire spray. They're getting ready to go on. Here's a bit of a side-by-side comparison. That is the 22-inch worn out, no air in it. This is a 26, not mounted, no air. This is the 25 with air, the 25 without air. That's a big difference. I'm going to do a lot of cutting on this fender. That's what we're starting on next. I may have to cut it up this high. I feel like a plastic surgeon. I've got it marked up where we're going to be cutting. And this is my scalpel. Anyway, I took this chain and a marker. I measured the height of the tire. It's about 26 inches tall when it's aired up. This is 13 inches from the center of that axle. The chain, I went around, kind of marked in the back, a little bit of clearance. It's time to start cutting. The tire is now on. There is plenty of clearance, and by plenty, it's about a 1/4 inch right here. The only problem right here in the very corner is a little tab that's got to come off. I'm going to take care of that right now. Here's a before and after shot. Now it's on to the other side. Tire number 2, I'm over at the tire change. You're supposed to let the air out of it first. Let's try it with the air in it. I'm right back with the Murray. It's time to trim the other fender. I've got this flag holder. I don't have a flag. I don't need a screwdriver holder. So I'll take that off. We'll go ahead and mark it and get this side cut. And then while we wait for that wheel to dry, I've got 2 reflectors. I'm thinking one there, one there. Right here on Murray number 2, and I just fixed the throttle linkage. It popped off in here, took it off, put it back together. I've added a gas valve. That's when I first got it. And up next, I got to fix this choke linkage. Then we'll be riding. The choke is all back together and functional. Here's the Murray lineup. Murray number 2 has been rear pulley swapped. Murray number 1 has been front pulley swapped. Murray number 2 does 12 miles an hour. I'm about to go see what Murray number 1 does. As far as engine sizes go, 17 horse. This one is a 12.5. Well, my belt fell off again. Let's call into the rescue. So the Poland saved the day. It is my most reliable mower. It may not be the best in the mud. Colonel Craftsman has 25-inch tall executioners, but once I get the 26-inch tall tires on the Poland, it'll probably be the best, most reliable, and the best in the mud. I feel like it deserves more. I want to get some factory-made hubs, use the Nissan wheels, get the 26-inch tall tires on it. I'd like to get a custom steering wheel put on it. I'd like to have a performance carburetor put on it. I need to lock the rear end. And it'd be really nice if I could get brakes on it somehow. Some kind of brake kit. And I know what you're thinking. Make it a four-wheel drive. That's the first thing on my list, but I've not got it done yet. If you can think of anything else that I need to do to it, it's already got an LED bar. I could put a horn on it, I guess. Leave me some comments what I should do to it. As far as Murray number 1, I need to work on its belt guards. I did like the way it performed in the mud, except for when the belt comes off. And I didn't show you me putting them on, but at the car shop I put on some reflectors on the back of the Poland. 2 there, 1 on each side here, and then there's some up on the front bumper. And for the front reflectors, there's 1 here, 1 on the other side, and 2 right down there. And one more thing just popped in my head. If I could do some kind of custom steering on it, maybe some Heim joints,